And to extract the text from our invoices, we will use this package, which is Smallot PDF parser. So here is a quick example. We used parser, we give it the file, and we use the get text, and we have the text, okay? So let's copy the command from here and move to our terminal, and let's clean it and paste it here. So next, what we need, let's go back here. We need also a Hugging Face account so we can analyze the text. Create your own Hugging Face account, and once created, they give you 10 cents for free, so you can use it, and 10 cents is enough for this project. So as you can see, I have created my project and also this one, and we still have here 0.1 or 0.01, not 0.1, $0.01, okay, from 0.10. And also you need to create your token. Move here and choose read, give it name and create token, and once created, copy it and keep it until we need it, and you will have here your tokens, okay? Let's move to our code. So the package is installing. Let's add also controller that we need, because we need a controller. So here we are installing the package. Let's add another one. Let's close this tab to be clear for you. PHP artisan make controller, and let's give his name invoice controller. Controller has been created successfully, and the package also installed successfully. Let's go to our controllers. Here is our controller. We need to add the function to store an invoice. Let's give it name, public function, store. And here we use the request and inside what we need to do. First, we need to validate the data. We will receive here the file, which is the invoice. So we need to use the request validate. And you can create a request to validate the data if you want, but in our case we have only one field, so we can use only the request validate from here to validate the field, which is the invoice that we will receive, and we want the invoice to be required. What else we need? We need it to be file. What else we need? We need to accept only PDF. And what else we need? We need, let's give it max of, for example, 5 megabytes, okay? What else we need? We need to get currently logged in user, because we need it. Can get it using the auth user. And also we need to define variable, let's call it the path, and this is the path where the invoice will be stored, okay? So here we use the request file, and we receive the file, which is the invoice, and we store it inside our invoices folder. So we will create this folder inside public folder, okay? Here inside storage app public, we will create the invoices folder, and invoice will be inside. Next, we need another variable, let's call it full path, and this variable will return full path of our invoice using storage disk, which is public, as I said. So the folder invoices will be inside the public folder, and we cast path and we give it the path that we have defined here. Okay, so here we will have the full path of our invoice, and we need to import storage from Illuminate supports facade storage. Okay, this one. Now we have stored file, and we have the full path to our file. Let's define variable and call it text, and we will add a function that will extract the text from our full path, which is the path of our file. Okay, and we need also the data. So the data will be what we have inside our invoice, which are accompanied what is the amount, the invoice number, and other fields that we need. So here we will add another function that will analyze the invoice, and this one takes the text, which is the one that we have received from our function, which is extract text. Okay, next, what we need to do, we need to store the invoice. Let's define here a variable invoice and use the invoice model, and we create our invoice. So we give it all the data that we have received, which are the fields that we need, and we need also to store the file path. Let's go to our invoice table. Here we have file path, which is the path of our invoice, and we need also the user ID. Okay, the other fields, the company, the invoice number, the dates, the total currency, we get them from the analyze invoice function, and everything will be here inside the data. Okay, so here we need file path, and in our case is the path of the invoice, and we need the user ID, and in our case is the user that we have already defined, and we give it the ID. Okay, which is this user that we have here. Now we have created our invoice. What we need to do, we need to decrement, because the user has created an invoice, we need to decrement his number of hearts. So we have already the user. There is the arrow, we need the arrow user, and we decrement his hearts. Now we have decremented the user hearts. Next, what we need to do, we will do something, but not now, later. For now, let's return the user to the route, which is home, and we return it with the success message. So let's use here success message, and success will be invoice, or success message will be invoice added, successfully, and here we need invoice, and then I will tell you later why we need this invoice added, which is the invoice that we have added here. So for now, just follow me, and later I will tell you why we need this invoice added. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to define this function, which is extract text. Let's define it and make it private, and name is extract text, and it will receive string, which is PDF path, PDF path. And here what we need to do, we need to return and use new, like we have seen here. So the same what we have here. So we use the parser and we parse the file, okay, to get the text. So here let's add parentheses first and use new parser, and new parser, as I said, has the method. Well, let's check the docs what we have here. So here we have the parser, so it's the same thing. New small lot PDF parser, same thing like we have done here, okay. So here we need a row. Where is the row? Here is the row. So we call the parse, as I said, parse file, and we give it the PDF that we want to parse, okay. And we call the method which is get text, gets text, but this closing parentheses, we need to close it here, sorry, not here after the gets text, but here. So we use new parser and we parse the file and we get text and we return it, okay. Let's add here return text or gets text or extract text from invoice, okay. Now we have this function, we need to import the parser from where is it? So this one, small lot PDF parser, okay, this one. Now we have extracted the text. What we need to do,